This is Ingris's third vlog, I think, and here we see him getting started on his first young event horse. We went over to Full Gallop, and it was a fantastic experience for him. I'll do a little clip of his dressage test from the novice the next day. You can see him starting over the show jumping here. He's such a bold jumper. He really likes to canter right on down to the base of the fences and hasn't really sorted out how to back himself off just yet, but I feel like now isn't the time to teach him to back off when they're quite little. And you can see I lose a little bit of my power steering here with the distractions of the ring and the baby stallion. There's a lot of other things kind of going through his mind than paying attention maybe to these small little blips on his radar. But here you see him kind of settle really nicely to this fence, and I see a great distance. And now we start his favorite part, and you can totally see his ears and his eyes and his whole demeanor change as he gets very excited for cross country. You get to see a little bit of his fantastic gallop here. He gets his eyes on the fence, and he's on his way. He's such a bold jumper in every phase that it's a little bit hard to figure out how to let him find his own distances and learn his own lessons without setting him up too much, but not letting him make too many mistakes where he loses his confidence. And he's brilliantly through there. We loop back around to the ditch here, and I was a little bit worried about a green horse and do you trot, do you canter, but you see he doesn't seem to mind at all. Hops right on over. It was interesting to see the scoring for him. He was so consistent and so reliable on the flat. He doesn't necessarily score quite well in the young event horse yet until he gets a little bit more of his brilliance back, which comes when some weeks we're 2 inches higher behind than we are up front, but that's 4-year-olds. He's always such an extraordinary jumper. He certainly made up for it out there. And you see him kind of loop around here, and he's got a little bit of a peanut gallery admiring. I mean, he's such a good guy and so even-keeled for just a 4-year-old, especially in a big field with all the atmosphere that is at Full Gallop. I was grateful his owner, Janice, was able to be there for both the young event horse and the novice. That was a great effort from him, and here he starts to gallop on towards the water. And it was such a nice course at Full Gallop. They really gave the horses lots of different things to look at, and enough room to really show off their way of going, and I thought it was well set up and well designed. See him cantering through the water. He certainly doesn't even miss a step there. And here we go. I think we have one more jump, and you can kind of see his gallop towards the end, which is they really appreciated his gallop, and I think the stronger he gets and the more confident I feel in his balance, the better that gallop will be, and he'll be able to jump out of it so easily as he moves up the levels. It's uphill and ground covering and just so much fun to ride. And you can see how proud I am of the little horse. And start pulling him up, and here's his little dressage test from the novice. We got scores from 3s to 8s. So we have lots of room to kind of improve, and it's a lot for a baby stallion to come, and I think he was a little tired from the day before, but it was sort of to our advantage that to take him a little bit tired so he was a little bit less distracted, but he's really finding a consistent way of going, and he's so balanced that he looks quite lovely here. And it's such a different feel on him because he doesn't struggle like a lot of my off-the-track thoroughbreds do with his natural balance and his cadence. He's very rhythmical, he's very upright, he's very correct. I almost struggle because he can canter on any lead at any time in any direction, doesn't seem bothered in the least by it. So he's got his canter is probably his best gait by far at this point. He's so uphill and correct about it. It's just a matter of sitting there and looking pretty for me. And here we see him on cross country at the novice that afternoon. And boldly through the water. He was fantastic all the way around. He was just keen, happened to be out doing his job. Kind of a tough question here for the novice with the roll top out of the water, but certainly answered it with no problem. Here's the little mock Trakehner. You can't quite see here, but I'm grinning ear to ear because this horse is just so much fun, and he's got such a great way of going. I almost forgot this fence, but you know, that's why we walk our courses. And he still doesn't even mind, but you see him kind of loop around here and give me such a great effort over this fence. He gives such a great effort every day, and he's such a pleasure to work with. And got such a great hind end. Is, you know, like I said, my biggest struggle with him is finding a good distance that gives him the time to really show off his jump a little bit more like that. But thanks again.